So now that we've got this cooking, this bat is doing some flapping, let's take it and make it fly around in a figure eight. Okay? So in order to do that, let's make a new composition, new composition, and call this night sky. And before I say OK, let's make the size of it full frame video. So under the preset, go down to the last, where is it? HD, this one, HDTV 1080, 2997, that one. That'll give us a 1920 by 1080. This is like any video you would get off your smartphone, or most internet full frame HD videos will be that size. Okay? Duration 10 seconds, 24, that's just fine. Whatever it is. Just make sure you have more than a second. If it's 30 seconds, that's fine. It's okay. Alright, so I got an empty rectangle called night sky that is full video frame. And I'm going to take cut bat, which is what we just made, and put it in there, so in the night sky. So there it is in the middle. If I scrub it, I'll have this going on. Okay? And I want to take this bat and make it fly in a figure eight around in this space. So it's a little bit too big to fit this to move around in this rectangle. So I want to hit S for scale and bring the bat down so that it's small enough that I can move it around in here. Okay? So maybe 45%, depending on how big your bat is. I'll come back to 0 and hit P for position, and take your bat and bring it down to the lower left corner. And scrub and check your flaps to make sure that the wings aren't going off the edge of the frame right now. We want to keep the fingertips inside this rectangle for now. If the wings go outside this rectangle, if we try to nest this, they'll get cropped. So we want to keep everything inside the comp for now. So when I scrub, the wings should stay inside. And bring it down to the lower left corner here, and turn on position. Okay? So what it's saying is at 0 seconds, this bat is down here in the corner flapping. Now move forward to 1 second, and at 1 second in time, grab your bat and move it up here to the upper right corner. Now, I am not seeing the motion path of this position. There should be a motion path, and the reason I'm not seeing it is because it got turned off somewhere along the line. So I want to go to View and say Show Layer Controls right here. When I say Show Layer Controls, what it does is when I select a layer, it'll show me my transform handles, and it will show me my motion path. So I've got a motion path indicating the path between this anchor point, or no, between this keyframe and this keyframe, this position keyframe. So I got my bat, and it's moving sideways, right? And what I want to do is at 0 seconds, I want to hold just Shift R, and I want to rotate the bat so that it's on the path, right? So its head it's rotated going in the direction of the position. So as it moves along that path and flaps its wings, it's flying in that direction. Right? I've got 2 position keyframes. This is at 0, it's there. 1 second, it's there. So if I move to 2 seconds, grab this bat and pull it down here, the motion path is going to curve. Remember, we had this in the Ricochet where it curved by default when we did the ball, and we wanted to make it straight. In this case, I do want it curved, so I'm not going to make it straight. But what's happening is the bat flies along the path, and then when it hits this curve, it's not rotating. So it winds up flying sideways. Now, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to do something kind of not wrong, but I'm going to show you why I'm not going to use rotation to guide it through the turn. Right? I could do this with rotation. At 0 seconds, I could turn on rotation. Just watch me do this. Don't do it yourself. And when I get up here to this curve and it starts to need to turn, I could manually say, all right, look, turn a little bit, set a keyframe, move here, turn it a little more, right? Move here, turn it the rest of the way, right? That works, but it's some extra keyframing, right? So I did it in 3 keyframes. And that would work, but I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to instead, with this layer selected, go to Layer, Transform, and there's something under Transform called Auto Orient, which is what I want. If I choose Auto Orient, it will say, do you want Auto Orient off? This is kind of ridiculous. I don't know why this is even here. Or Orient Along Path. This is what I want, Orient Along Path. So if I say OK, usually what happens is I got to do a little bit of correction and just set it on the path with rotation like that. But now watch. When it comes to the curve, it will just automatically follow the curve. I don't have to use rotation to make it work. Okay. So actually, I can turn off my rotation and just use it to make sure that it is on the path, and then it will follow the path, right? So I've got 1 keyframe, 2 keyframes, 3 keyframes. I'm going to go to 3 seconds, sorry, and move it up here. And check the motion. Look at this. It goes up, around, up, and then at 4 seconds, I want to continue and bring it back to where it started. Now, look at what this looks like when I scrub back here. See that motion path? And see how it's round here, and round here, and round, but right here it's pointed? This motion path, you can grab and click the points. These points are these anchor points. And you can change the motion path just like any Bezier line in Adobe. These little dots, like when I click here, see these dots? These dots are handles that let you stretch and bend the path just like any Bezier line in any other Adobe program. So what I want to do is take this endpoint, grab this dot, and curve it out like that. Same with this. This point, I want to pull this curve and match this dot is this anchor point. This dot, when I click on here, see how that gets selected? It's the end anchor point. And I want the beginning and end anchor points. I keep saying anchor points, I mean keyframes. I want these keyframes to match up so that the figure 8 will be a nice loop. So I'm going to pull my work area to the end of this 4-second increment and see what this looks like. Watch. So that goes up, around, and when it gets back to the beginning, it loops. Right? There's a little bit of a hitch right there, but I'm fine with that. I could kind of massage it and fix it a little bit if I wanted to. And actually, the hitch at the loop is because the rotation is a little funny. Like the bat is rotated facing down, and then when it jumps to this keyframe, it's facing sideways. So I could correct that. I could smooth that out if I went to the end keyframe here. I could probably smooth it out just by pushing this curve a little bit. Same thing with this. If I pulled this curve a little bit, that would smooth out. The path of the curve would smooth out. Watch the jump. You guys see how smooth that is? So I got a smooth figure 8 loop. It turns out that in my case, the fingertips are not going off of the edge of the comp, which is nice. That way, if I want to loop this or copy paste it, the fingertips of the bat won't get clipped. Okay. Now, if I wanted to make multiple bats, like now that I've got this one bat flying in figure 8, let's say I wanted to make 3 bats flying all around in different figure 8s, and just take this thing and copy paste it, and maybe rotate the figure 8 so it looks kind of like our sample clip. Which, let's see if I can bring this up. Sample clip is somewhere. Here it is. It's over here. This. So let's see what we've got here. We've got these bats. This is really 3 instances of the same bat flying in the same figure 8. They're just copy pasted, okay? So in order to do that, my instinct would be, okay, cool. Take this cut bat, right? That's flying in a figure 8. Pause just a minute and watch me do this. Don't follow me and do this, because I'm going to show you why your initial instinct to do it a certain way probably won't work. So if I take this cut bat and copy it and paste it, I've got two of them, right? Watch what happens if I take one of them and try to move it. What's happening is when I grab this bat and try to move it, all I'm doing is creating an extra position keyframe. And so, see what this looks like. Because the figure 8 is position keyframed, if I make a copy of this bat and then try to move it, all I'm doing is making one position keyframe that's different than the other one. And I'm not able to, when I move the bat, I'm just moving the bat. I'm not moving that figure 8. Does that make sense? I'll say it again. If I want to move this bat, I'm just moving the bat, which creates one new position keyframe, and it's not moving the whole figure 8. So, if I want to move the whole figure 8, what I got to do is pre-compose this cut bat. What that will do is it'll take these position keyframes and bake them into a layer. Then when I rotate that layer, I'm not moving these position keyframes. So let me just do it and you can see what I'm talking about. So this cut bat with the figure 8, if I say, take this layer and say layer pre-compose, and I'll call this bat on 8, and move all the attributes into the new composition, I do want to do that. I want to move all those position keyframes that make the figure 8 into the new comp, so I say yes. Okay? So when I look at this, it looks exactly the same. It's a bat flying in figure 8 loop. But if I look at the P, the position keyframes aren't in here. The position keyframes for this comp are for this whole thing. Right? So if I take this bat on 8 and copy it and paste it and move it over here, now see what happens? I move the whole 8. If that doesn't really make sense to you, just go back and listen to me explain it again and look at it, and do it yourself and look at it. Basically what happens is when you pre-compose it into bat on 8, you are baking in all of your night sky. All of your keyframes get, all this figure 8 work is really, what am I trying to find out here? Where'd it go? Oh, it's in bat on 8. If I open up bat on 8, see, all your position keyframes are in here. So night sky now has 2 bat on 8s, okay? I can take this one and rotate it so that the figure 8 is kind of off kilter with the other one, and I can scale it to make it a bigger bat. Now when I scale this up, not only am I making the bat bigger, but I'm making the figure 8 bigger as well. So let's see what this looks like. Okay. I can take this one, copy, paste it, make it smaller, S for scale, make a tiny, tiny bat, hit R for rotate, knock it out of kilter with the other one. And let's look at this. Now I got 3 different bats flying around. Right, and I could just keep doing that, making different ones. 2 more things I want to do. Number 1, well, first of all, this loop only goes 4 seconds, and then, like, if I pull this out, they just stop at 4. Right? So if I wanted them to keep going, I would just use time remap to repeat it. So let me keep, which one's my original? It's this bottom one, isn't it? Yeah, I'm going to get rid of this one for now, and this one. And I'm going to time remap this so that it keeps looping, so that when I copy paste it, it'll keep going. So 4 seconds is where my loop ends. So this bat on 8, I'm going to go layer, time, enable time remapping, and at 4 seconds is where my loop ends. So I'm going to put a keyframe there. So this is the beginning of my loop. This is the end of my loop. So if I want to repeat this loop, I could say take these 2 keyframes, copy them, and paste them right here. Now this will repeat the loop, But the problem is, between here, this first keyframe is the end of the loop, this second keyframe is the beginning of the loop. But it's time, this is really like, this keyframe right here is 0 seconds. So this small little space between this one and this one, After Effects is going to want to go from 4 seconds to 0 seconds really quickly. So you might see like a quick little zip flash. Watch, let's see if you can catch it. See that little blink? When it loops over, watch, it comes to the end and it goes, it does that little glitch right there. That is because, let me slow it down, it wants to go 0 seconds to 4 seconds. From here, it wants to go from 4 back to 0 backwards really quickly. Watch. So, what we can do is either put this right on top, and that might kill it. But it also might not work. Yeah, it doesn't work. So, instead I'll do is this second keyframe right here, which is at 4 seconds, select that, go to animation, and say toggle hold keyframe. What toggle hold keyframe does is it says stay right here at 4 seconds and don't do anything until another keyframe appears, and then go straight to that keyframe. Don't go backwards, just go straight from 4 to 0. So if I do that, it'll eliminate that glitch. Watch. We'll go 0 to 4 second loop. When it gets to 4 seconds, it will not run backwards, it'll just pick up at 0 and repeat it. Right? So what I really want to do then is get rid of all this, delete those, and take this 0 to 4 with a hold keyframe right there and repeat it. Take that, copy it, just go right here and repeat it. And that should be smooth. If there's a little hesitation, just move that closer so that it doesn't hesitate and it just smoothly goes through it. Right? And paste it here again too. Now, this loop is repeating, repeating, repeating. So I can take this bat on 8, and has that loop. It has the loop repeating. I'll take this bat on 8, copy it, paste it, scale it down. Now they're both going to continue looping after 4 seconds. Like after 4 seconds, they just keep going. Okay? I can take this small one, repeat it, and move it over here. Hit R for rotate, and rotate it so it's like this. Okay? One thing that kind of bugs me a little is that they're in sync, they're all flapping together, and so that calls attention to the fact that there are copies, that it's really one bat repeated. If I wanted to move them out of sync, I could do it with time remapping, right? So I could go into here, this time remap, and just move the loops. And what that does is it changes the speed of the looping, and it'll knock them out of sync. Right? That's probably the easiest way to do it. Another way you could do it would be to take this strip, take this strip and slide it back and forth. See how it moves this bat? So that would work, but then what you run into is either, like if I slide it forward, this little edge, there's no bat there. It'll just pop on, it'll appear, it'll go blink, and then suddenly there's no bat, and then there's a bat. So that's problematic. And the way I would fix that is with more time remapping, right? So what I might just do is go in here and take these time remap keyframes and either slide them out of sync or add one more time remap keyframe like this and just move it a little bit. What that'll do is it'll just knock everything out of whack a little bit. And then they won't look like they're flapping in the exact same in tandem. We'll do another one here. Part here. Add one time remap keyframe and just shift a little bit. What that does is it just speeds things up and slows it down, and it knocks the flaps out of sync. Okay? So this is almost everything I have in the final clip except for the background.